yeah, for those who are not aware and you're just here joining my channel, joining my stream for the first time, this is your first time coming in. Hello, my name is Majin. I am a tarot reader. I am an intuitive tarot reader. I oftentimes tell people to think of me as a spiritual translator. Essentially, that means that sometimes I get intuitive hits or messages from those above, and I'm trying to relay the message and meanings that I am receiving for the readings that I am conducting. And so, with that being said, please note that this is a tarot channel. My opinions, my comments, my personal views are just that. They are my comments, my opinions, my views. They are not that of the cards. I am just simply trying to translate the cards, and I'm trying to give you the best unfiltered message as possible. You know, tarot should not be used for any kind of like legal, financial, medical, spiritual purposes. Consult with those who are professionals in those fields to, you know, further give you the information and guidance that you need. And more importantly, tap into your own power of discernment, intuition for what resonates, okay? First and foremost. Again, for those of you who are new to this channel, the reason why I am doing this reading on New Jeans is because they recently did go through a lawsuit with their, I want to say it's their management company, HYBE, and they filed a lawsuit because I believe I guess you can kind of call it like um, their actual like group manager or whatever left. And so they eventually splintered off and tried to do their own thing, and they were trying to sue HYBE slash ador, which I think is their sub management company or subgroup, and to doing their own solo individual things or to follow their manager. And HYBE went after them and was saying, no, 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 we're not doing that. You can step back from those thoughts and those dreams, and you have to come back and fulfill a contract. And it went through this long drawn out thing. And as I want to say, was that October 30th or something like that, the ruling came out that the courts in South Korea, found them to be in, I guess, what would the word be? Contempt, or basically they were going out of bounds of what their contract was, and they have to abide by what HYBE has ordered them to do. And I believe their contract is over in 2029, if I'm not correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, they are coming back, and so people are concerned with how New Jeans is going to perform, if they're going to be shelved. Is HYBE going to kind of like just mess with their progress later on, etc., etc.? And I'm hoping to get into all of that. I'm also going to do a reading because I hear there's a concern that some of the members may end up being removed from New Jeans, and I'm going to look into that. You know, don't know if that's true. Again, take this with a grain of salt because I'm not read up on all of it, just so I don't be subconsciously influenced by what I've read or seen or conspiracies and stuff like that. I want to give my unfiltered, intuitive meanings here, but I'm going to get into all of that and, you know, see what's going to be coming up for the girls. So if you're okay with that, if you're along for the ride, let's get into this reading, okay? So I think the first part of this I'm going to do is, well, I hear the girls are apparently going to refile, or yeah, refile, but I don't know how true that is because it seems like they already lost. But let's see if they're gonna refile and what is going to come out of that. Let's see. Ooh, we do have the Seven of Staffs coming up here in reverse for them. Okay, I'm still checking my audio. So if you hear me pause for a second, it's just to make sure that my audio is still working, because that was horrible. I went through that whole reading and it just did not record. You also have the Three of Coins. I don't think they're going to refile. looking at this? I don't think so. I think money is a big issue, too much money on the line. And maybe there's also, I don't know, is there going to be some kind of contractual hindrance or some legal hindrance to them refiling? I can very much see if they do refile. Allegedly, I wouldn't be surprised if HYBE, yeah, does like what they call it, like a something to kind of like go against their brand, like damage their brand, their you know, planting stories or something about them. Because we do also see here the Two of Swords as well. So going back with the Seven of Staves coming up here in reverse, for me, that usually feels like, usually I think of like rumors. It could be press, it could be gossip, etc., like that. It could be, you know, planting stories or something of some sort. I see here with the Seven of Staves. We also do have the Three of Coins here, so to me it feels like maybe some of the girls may not be on the same page if they go to refile. Like some of them are like, hey, well, I don't have any more money, I can't keep doing this, we can't keep going through this fight, why don't we just go through this and get it over and done with, let's just finish out the contract and move on. And then I also, with the Two of Swords being here, you know, this makes me feel like, yeah, it's a harsh, it's a split decision. It's really not good one way or the other. Also, the thing here with the Three of Coins, I don't know if the girls all went in and paid for like some kind of legal representation, but there could be something here where they're kind of just like concerned for paying for some kind of legal counsel or legal representation, or maybe you know, like sometimes here in America, sometimes you have people that they kind of will like blacklist you, like, oh, okay, well, you seem to be having issues with your label, or you seem to be like a bad client, or you know, HYBE could call not HYBE, sorry, allegedly, like, yeah, no, allegedly HYBE could have called some of the like lawyer lawyers and stuff around there and be like, hey, if you touch them, this is going to put your business at risk. And so they're going to stray away from even taking their case. So I think that is going to be an issue. I think this is internal strife though, because I have the Five of Staves, I have the Ace of Coins, oh, and the Six of Coins coming up here as well. I think this is internal strife. I don't think they are on the same page anymore when it comes to the lawsuit. I think they like, we gave it our best shot the first time around, and it seems like um we got our ass handed to us. So what's the point of kind of redoing this legal lawsuit? What's the point of refiling? Or again, it's just going to come out with the same outcome. I do think money is an issue, or maybe there's a concern from the girls or something, and paying for some kind of legal representation. So I don't know if refiling is a good decision for them, because to me, this does not seem to read very positive if they were to do it. Okay, so I'm going to mix these cards back in. So let's see. I do wonder what it is the current agreements that HYBE have, because I wonder if they like renegotiated with the girls. I want to see if like what was kind of the agreements with the girls in order for them to come back. So I'm going to pull an individual card with them and see if I get anything. Because again, I haven't followed this case, so I don't know. Okay, so I had a couple cards jump out here that I'm going to read. Oh, wait, I dropped another one. So interesting enough, this is a lot of cards. Four of Coins, Nine of Swords, Two of Cups, Four of Staves. This is the Justice, Seven of Cups, and the Magician, aka the Alchemist. But I'm gonna see. I'm getting so I'm trying to pull for specifically Danielle. Um, and look at what I get for her. I get the moon. Let me see how this, if this is gonna all fit on the screen. So I get the moon. I get the 3 of Swords. See if this all fits. The 6 of Coins. And then I also get the Chariot. I'm going to turn this one to the side. So this is Hani. And if I remember correctly, Minji is the group leader. Okay, so I have 2 cards here for Minji. And this is the 4 of Staves and the Hanged Man. Okay. And now these are the 2 younger members. Sorry, that was me, so I'm not gonna count those cards. Okay, Haerin, I have 2 of Swords and the Malika of Coins. Okay, then we have the Strength. It's funny enough that Haein is coming in with the best energy so far. There's a lot that seems to be coming up with Danielle here. Okay, so going back to Danielle, if there was some kind of like individual agreements here with the members in order for them to kind of like, I don't know, say grease the palm or make it more, or, you know, to make it more acceptable for them to come back or whatever, if there was any concessions that had to be made, which I doubt there had to be legally, because HYBE won the lawsuit or whatever, or the court filing. I'll say court filing. It does feel like Danielle has, she doesn't want to come back. I wonder, was she like the big one that was kind of like really attached to their previous manager or something like that, or she didn't like the treatment that they were getting beforehand. I wonder if there was filings, or because if something was listed in the court filings that New Jeans put forth, if there was something about like mistreatment or something about like maybe neglect. I want to say it's like neglect, mistreatment, or something was coming up here for Daniela's part. And I wonder if she was the one who was getting like the brunt of it or something. Or maybe it affected her more. I'm not sure. But it's interesting. Again, the reason why I feel like so much was coming up for her, because again, I have 4 cards for her. We have the 3 of Swords. It's the heartbreak and not getting over that heartbreak. Maybe she really wanted out of this contract to do her own thing, or maybe she just no longer vibes with HYBE. You know, that could be coming up for Danielle. We do have the 6 of Coins. It is coming up in the upright, but you know, typically for me, the 6 of Coins is like reciprocity. You know, if you scratch my back, I scratch yours. But I wonder if she felt like maybe there was a thing here of like, we're paying more into it than what we're getting back. I'm not sure about that. Then we also have the Moon card. So to me, that's usually alluding to like secrets. There could be underlying feelings or emotions and things like that that she's going through as well. And then we also have the Chariot card, aka Wali, and or Wa'ali. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But this is usually when I see the Chariot, it's usually like you're either gearing up and ready to go, or like you're pausing for a second before you make your next move or your next decision, because you want to be sure what's coming forward. This did come up in reverse, so that's why I have it up here as like the blocked energy, because I had so many cards for her so you can see what I have for her. Now, getting into Haein, we do have the Five of Cups. Again, somebody who is focused on all of the negativity or wrong things here. I do want to say this, and I know some people are probably going to throw tomatoes at me, but I have to say this. I wonder, this, for some reason, some of this is giving me like bratty energy. Like, I wonder if they're just being brats or stubborn. A part of me feels like this kind of feels like stubborn or bratty energy, and it's not saying like, yeah, there could be something here with like HYBE, where HYBE could have been like abusing their power or overusing or overstepping or something like that. But some of this makes me feel like it's bratty energy, and I don't know what that is. But we do have the Five of Cups in reverse coming up here for Haein, and so again, this is somebody who is dissatisfied with how the what the legal decision has been, and them having to go back and work with HYBE, etc. And she's kind of like focusing on all the negativity instead of looking at maybe some positive things they could be doing right now. It could also be a thing that maybe she feels like there is no positivity in this, but that is coming up here. You know, when you're going through the thick of something, when you're going through a harsh time, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, well, what's the silver lining? You know, you're in those moments, you're in that moment of just kind of like, not wallowing in despair, but just kind of like wallowing in the loss. And you probably need a minute to shake that off, which is understandable. It's only been a few days. And so then we have the Hanged Man and the Four of Cups coming up here for Minji. And so this is somebody who is having to look at something in a different perspective. Again, she is the leader, so maybe she is trying to encourage the girls. This feels like morale to me, like she's trying to probably boost the morale or just really tap in and touching with the girls, which would be understandable if I read properly that she is the leader of New Jeans. So it makes sense why that is coming up here. But we also do have the Four of Staffs coming up in reverse. So the Four of Staffs to me usually represent home. And with this coming up in reverse, it just feels like home is in shambles, it's disrupted, it's not feeling like home. It's almost like a runaway energy here. So I wonder if there is a thing here where she's probably like, I need to get myself together in order to get them together. Or, you know, with my team, our home, you know, even here at HYBE / ador, maybe it's a thing here where she's trying to work things out with them in order to, or like be the bridge between, you know, the New Jeans members and then HYBE / ador. Now for Haerin, she is definitely concerned with money. With this Malika of Coins coming up, it could be Earth sign, but this makes me feel like she's definitely concerned about the money. She because again, the Malika of Coins is usually like your earth signs, your Taurus, your Taurus, your Virgos, and your Capricorns. And what do you usually think of when you think of earth signs? They're very material, or they're very concerned with the material world. They're very hardworking. They're like your workhorses. When it comes to business, you know, they're heavy on capitalists, on capitalism, etc. You know, very much creatures of comfort. And so for me, I feel like this could be a representation of just her feeling out of her comfort zone, or she's very concerned for like materialism, or again for her wealth, or the money that they're going to spend. And again, here with the Two of Swords, notice that's coming up again. It's like tough decisions here again. I wonder if there is a concern here of like she not wanting to fulfill the contract or something like that. Again, I don't know what the hang up could be with them. Now, again, going back to Haein, it's interesting that we're getting the Strength card for her. She's the only one who's kind of coming up with a positive card here. I don't know if she is tapping in and having a positive outlook and wanting to move forward and just move on from this, but she is coming up with the Strength card. I feel like her and Minji should really work together to get the other three girls like on track, or to like change the mood or something, because again, Minji is coming up with the hangman. So this is somebody who is really trying to be strategic and purposeful and yeah, purposeful and strategic in the way that they move and hope and willing to try to give and take some things in order to maneuver her group through this. Maybe it could just be for herself, but I want to say it's for the group because she has the four of staffs here. So, you know, I do think she's trying to figure out a way to kind of like maneuver through this. And I think she will find a good support out of Haein because she's coming up here with the strength card. Okay, let's see. What is the underlying energies I'm getting here? So we do have the Ten of Coins. I feel like that is HYBE all day. We do have the Hermit here, which is the Dervish. And then we have the Eight of Swords. This is victim of circumstance card here. So yeah, they are a victim of their circumstances. They're in it now. They're in for the thick of it. Okay, so there is a rumor or a belief that there was a personal agreement made with the two younger members. I'm going to see if there's something that comes up for me if there was some kind of agreement. Because so far I haven't picked up on that, and I was wondering, I was hoping it was going to come out with one of those two that I was pulling on, but let's see. And this is for Haein and Haerin, I believe are the two youngest ones. Okay, don't count that one, you all. What is this one with Haerin? I do see Eight of Coins coming up for Haerin. Okay, and then I also have the Son of Swords. Son of Swords and an Eight of Coins. Hmm. What would be the eagerness? Was there eagerness in wanting to work? Or maybe there. So what I'm more so getting from Haerin is that maybe she didn't want to work with HYBE. I'm not gonna get all into that. I'm gonna assume she probably didn't because they were all in this, New Jeans. The members were all into this. But I think she was very much anxious about getting back to work, and I think she was very much anxious maybe for the outcome of this legal suit. Maybe it's I'm also picking up on maybe she's anxious on getting back into working with HYBE. And it's not like anxious in the sense of like I'm just ready to get back to work, but it just kind of feels like she very much wants to perform, but this kind of like um suspension that she's kind of been in was just really putting her on edge. It was making her anxious. So I don't really get that there was something here about a supposed agreement made between her and HYBE and her family or anything. I'm not getting that. I think I'm more so picking up on Haterin's anxiety. That's what this feels like to me. Okay, that is a lot. I'm going to note these. So we do have the Six of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Two of Cups coming up here in reverse. Let's see let's see what's really supposed to stick. See, yeah, no, the two younger members just, I feel like I'm picking up on anxiousness. Um, yeah, both of them were concerned with kind of like their finances. They were kind of like hanging in the balance on that. I think she was very much sad. Again, if to me, I'm wondering, was Haein, and maybe it is probably why she had the strength card for just kind of like how their energies are kind of going back into working with High, because this Five of Cups for me kind of makes me feel like, again, she, it kind of feels mournful that I weren't performing. It feels mournful that I wasn't putting out music. It feels mournful that I wasn't producing and creating, or that my creativity was kind of on hold or being tied up. And whether for better or for worse, now I know where we stand. Maybe it's kind of like the feeling that I'm getting here. I'm not getting that there was supposed to be some personal agreement made with their families. Look, here's Six of Staffs, Son of Cups, and then, oh, that Six of Coins is coming out again. What I will say, I do think all of the girls was concerned with money, but I think the younger ones were more so, I don't know, strapped for cash maybe, because this Six of Coins on here, and allegedly, it could have been something maybe on the table where they were like, hey, we'll um increase your wages or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it could have been something there about like, hey, we'll increase your wages if you can convince the others to kind of like come to the table or something. But I would feel like that's the extent of it. If there was anything, but I do think they were very much concerned about their money and being anxious or dreadful and not being able to create is more so what I'm getting from these two. Yeah, wait, what's, yeah, we do have the Emperor, Malika of Staffs, and the Nine of Staffs. Now, if you did see my, well, let me not even bring it up. So previously when I did this reading, I kept getting the Malika of Staffs. I kept getting the Shah of Staffs, and I kept getting the Emperor. So I don't know if this is kind of like their management team, because I hear supposedly they're under a new manager. I think it's a male and a female manager. And I was wondering if this was dealing with them, and I'm seeing that's coming up again. So this is making me feel like I'm about to switch up again. This is making me feel like maybe they were approached again, and maybe the thing on the table was like, hey, maybe we'll increase the payment, and legally maybe they didn't have to, but because of the allegations and stuff, maybe High was like, let's pay out a little more in the tides here. Allegedly, let's probably pay out a little more so this don't go any further. Because look, we also do have the Nine of Staffs here, and this is just kind of like, hey, there has to be something to give here, or we got to do something to kind of like wrap this up and change it. Because I don't know how long they were kind of like going back and forth for deliberations or anything like that, if there's something that they even do in South Korea. But it do feel very much like maybe we were tired of going through back and forth in deliberations, and we seen nobody was kind of giving up. So let's kind of just grease the wheel a little bit and make this an easier result for ourselves. Okay, let's see if New Jeans was correct in their claims that there was any kind of like abuse or mistreatment or neglection um, being had on the side of HYBE towards their careers, their performances. Let's see. Let's note this. Four of Cups. We do have Daughter of Coins, and we have Daughter of Cups. Let's try this again. Let's see. I'm just gonna note those just in case they come back out. Okay. Ooh, I'm going to stop it right there. I should stop it right there, but I feel like it's one more card that's supposed to be coming out. Hold on. I'm going to explain to you in a minute why I said I should just stop it right there. Oh, here we go. Okay, so if you don't know tarot, the sun is like the big yes card. The sun is the big daddy yes. It is, hold on, let me hold that on screen. The sun in this deck is called the Shams. It's the Tarot of the Moors. I mean, not Tarot of the Moors. The Sufi Tarot. Shams, the sun, aka the sun. That's absolutely yes. um, that's why I said I probably should stop it there. But then it's followed up by the Fool in reverse. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only. I am simply someone on the internet who is reading cards, which may not be telling the truth. Okay. I'm just interpreting this or trying to. So my interpretation could be wrong. So we do have the Emperor coming up here in reverse. And again, if you are not somebody who is in tarot, usually when I see the Emperor coming up in reverse, to me, because this is my opinion, my view, the Emperor usually means a abuse of power. I don't know how to say that. Think of just, a bad ruler, somebody who they abuse their power. I don't know how to say it. We do also have here the Four of Swords. In the Four of Swords, when you come up in the upright, that is somebody, I think of like healing after a heartbreak, healing after trauma, having to rest. Sometimes this can also be an indicator of like bad health as well. So I don't know if there was any claims around that, around like maybe I couldn't eat, or, I couldn't keep food down. I was very stressed. I was depressed. Sometimes the Four of Swords can point to health issues. So I just want to put that out there. Then again, we have the Big Yes card, which is the Sun card, followed by the Fool, which comes up in reverse here. And usually when I see the Fool in reverse, it's kind of like maybe kind of, I think of fools rush in. I think of just kind of you taking a step, but you probably shouldn't have took that step. You're kind of just going out there ready to bump your head and not get knocked around, get knocked down a couple times and mess up. And so that's what I feel like that's coming up here with this whole allegation with New Jeans and HYBE. I would say if I was to believe these cards, I think yes, there was some kind of mistreatment there. I believe the members were not lying about that. I would say on a very, to give some kind of wiggle room here, on a stretch, that maybe they stretched the truth, maybe they dramatized some things. But to me, this feels like yes, there was some kind of neglect or mistreatment or something like that going on between HYBE to New Jeans, looking at these cards. Look, the Daughter of Cups is coming up here in reverse. And to me, that is very much like that's very much in the body. That's kind of like, I wonder if there was like emotional neglect, or, allegedly some kind of emotional abuse maybe taking place with this Daughter of Cups coming up here. We do have the Devil coming up. Oh, and then we also have the Five of Coins. That's kind of like the neglect card. That's out in the cold, looking for help, kind of like hopelessness. It could probably also be something alluding to maybe there was some allegedly financial abuse or something going on. Or maybe it could have been something just with kind of like the contracts, their agreement that HYBE maybe have been throwing in their face, like, hey, well, you have until such and such a date. You are supposed to be paid such and such and such. We have agreements for you all to perform or be here for such and such and such. And because you have failed to perform or to appear at these appearances or whatever the case may be, do these brands, we are going to hold you accountable for X, Y, and Z, and you have to pay that back. You're on the hook for it. It's just going to keep adding up until you come back and you fulfill your promises or your contractual agreements, etc., etc. I do think there was kind of a bit of an overplay of their hands. And this is something I'm going to reiterate because, again, my mic was not working last time that I did this reading. But I would not be surprised, because something that I was getting last time, I would not be surprised if, Allegedly, New Jeans alleges that they were abusing them. I would not be surprised that HYBE moving forward will be very careful, or very sneaky about how they play mind games with them moving forward. That's my personal opinion. I would not be surprised if that's something that they do. Like, this is kind of like, okay, the gloves are off. Like, before we was kind of like just playing with you, almost kind of like doing hazy kind of stuff. But now we're gonna be very smart, very strategic, and kind of like or methodical in how we kind of like make sure you know your place moving forward. Like, I would not be surprised if something that comes up. Um, which is a nice segue into how are the girls going to be treated with their return to HYBE. I think that is a nice segue. Okay, let's note these here. We do have the Malika of Coins. We have the Strength card. Ooh, and the Sultan. See how I said I kept getting that card? I don't know if somebody at HYBE, or again one of their new managers, or who's the guy who run HYBE, like the boss, the head boss or something like that, is a fire sign, which is your Aries, your Sagittarius, and your Leos. But I keep getting something about like a fiery sign, and I'm inclined to believe it's more so like an Aries maybe. Just because I keep getting that Emperor card that keeps falling out, but I don't know if he actually is an Aries. But I just want to put a pin in that because you all can afford me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, and this wants to come out too. They definitely about to get their money's worth. They about to overwork them. That's what I'm getting. If anybody ever seen the movie The Simpsons, the part that flashed in my mind was the part where Homer was like whipping the wolves, like go, go, slay, slay, run, run, like that. That like that was a thing that pops up in my head. Not laughing at like if this is a circumstance they're gonna be under, but I very much feel like they like, okay, we lost about a year's worth of time. We got stuff to recoup. I feel like that's more so. That's what it looks like to me. Ooh. Yeah, it just feels like they gonna work them. That's what I'm keep getting. I don't think the girls are gonna be happy about it, but I feel like they're gonna work them, and they're probably gonna milk them for all the money and keep a lot of it themselves. I would not be surprised. The reason why the girls did not want to keep moving forward with working with HYBE, I wouldn't be surprised if it was something where they found out maybe they were kind of being screwed. Financially in their contracts, where maybe HYBE was getting more or benefiting more from them doing like appearances or concerts or whatever. Because I don't know how that works in South Korea. I don't know how the kind of like their performance contracts kind of work out. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's something where they found out, and that's the reason why they were trying to follow the new manager, and probably why, I mean, sorry, not the new manager, the old manager, and that's probably why they left, because they probably didn't want to be in the middle of that. Um, and the girls was trying to follow them, and it wasn't working out that way. I wouldn't be surprised if they found that they were getting screwed financially by HYBE, and they're just very much unhappy about moving forward with having to still work with them and still getting screwed financially in their contract. um I would not be surprised if that's one of the allegations or something that they found out. Yeah, I keep getting stuff about just kind of like they're gonna be overworked. They are going to be working them for sure. Looks like I have the Ten of Staffs here. That's like a burden. Well, let me move these kind of like up here, and then put these here. Okay, because the cards I have here is the Tower in reverse. I am moving this cloth too much. The Tower in reverse. I have the Ace of Coins. This is, to me, it's, yes, this is a new beginning. But what shouted through my mind when this card fell out was recoup. When I seen the Ace of Coins, we do have the Four of Swords. Again, this is kind of like, yeah, y'all rested, time to get back to work. The Ten of Staffs is, I think of cumbersome, something you're tired of lifting and having to wade through, but it is coming up in the upright. So to me, it's kind of like they're like, okay, let's load them up, let's get all this stuff done that we said we had to do, and let's move forward. Then we also have the Hanged Man coming up again. I'm not sure why the Hanged Mans will be coming up for them, because again, that's usually like a perspective shift or a paradigm shift or something of some sort coming up. I'm not sure what that could be alluding to. I'm a little confused on that one. But then again, with the Seven of Coins, that's like a work card. Again, you have to sow before you can reap. And so to me, it just feels like, okay, get back to work, get back to the drawing board. Give me my stuff. Look, this, I feel like this is the girls. This is the Nine of Staffs here. We do have the Eight of Cups wanting to leave, but they cannot because they are contractually obligated. And the card that keeps coming up for New Jeans, this is going to be the card of the night for them. It is the Five of Coins, okay? You are going to work. Look at HYBE's energy. The Six of Staffs here. We also do have the Temperance card coming up here. No, sorry. I want to say this is Justice, actually. I want to say this is Justice. Oh, and then we have the Devil card here. Yeah. Long and short, they are going to get back to work. They very much want them to get back to work. I don't think they're going to shelve them. I think they feel like there was some money and stuff that we need made out of you. Now, how that's going to look for them, I don't know. But I think they're definitely going to put them to work in some type of way. A high, to me, feels like there's some recoup happening here. Now let's see if that's going to affect their future sound, like what's going to be coming up with their creativity. Sorry that popped out. I'm trying to reshuffle them. These are some bigger cards in your typical tarot deck, so yeah, I kind of throw these around because they are a bit thicker. That's why you see me shuffle them like on the side instead of like this. I'm bridge shuffling like this because they are bigger, wider than typical tarot decks. Okay, song that popped into my head, just to put it out there to note. I don't know if any of you ever heard Justin Timberlake. Hopefully, most of you have. I don't know if any of you heard Justin Timberlake's TKO song, but that's like what came to my mind. Down for the count, yeah, you knocked me out. Like that was the line that came to mind. Okay, I do see we have this Ace of Swords coming up here. We do have the Three of Staves. Why do this Three of Staves make me feel like they're gonna try to break their contract again and it's just gonna be another no? It's gonna end in another heartbreak, another devastation. Look at that Eight of Coins. I think they got screwed contractually in their contracts financially by HYBE. I think that's why they're fighting so bad. Something makes me feel, if it's not the money, it's something about, I feel like it's something about some kind of split. Um, I don't know if it's like ownership or something of their name, ownership of their likeness, their voice, their image. If it's credits on like their songs or their writing, or probably not having control of their sound or something. That Eight of Coins, I'm nervous that I'm seeing it. I instantly want to say it was probably something financial, but it could be something with like their rights or ownership of something that they are being on. And this is coming up for their future. What's coming up in their future with HYBE. Look, Five of Swords. Are the girls infighting too? Or is it just like mental gymnastics maybe? Which would be understandable, because again, what I'm getting here with this makes me feel like they're going to try to refile, or they're going to try to find some other way to kind of get out of their contractual obligations, or to renegotiate something, or whatever the case may be. Um, yeah, this Five of Swords would be understandable then, because to me that kind of speaks of like some mental conflicts, or again, this could be like internal strife or something like that. I don't want to assume that. I want to hope that they're all on the same page together, but look, ooh, ooh, and the Magician, ooh, manipulation. Oh, yeah, maybe they're gonna see this differently moving forward. It doesn't feel like the best energy for them in the future with HYBE. It does feel like it's gonna be riddled with a lot of turmoil and back and forth. Let's see how this is gonna go for like their music, their, you see how all of these cards want to fall out? Are they gonna try to rush through their here in America sometimes, and I'm posing this as a question because I really don't know. So I know like here in America, sometimes people will sign on for, so again, I know their agreement is I believe out until 2029, but I wonder if there's a thing here where it was kind of like a you have to deliver like 4 or 5 albums or something like that before you can cut out the contract, which, it's kind of like, think of like if you ever had to sign on for like an auto loan or a mortgage. It's like, say you had to pay the car off in 5 years. No, okay. So do you know how like sometimes you get a warranty on something and it's like, okay, up to 20,000 miles or 8 years, whichever one comes first. I'm making it very exaggerated here. I wonder if there's a thing here in their contract where it's like, you have a contractual obligation agreement with HYBE for like 5 albums or until the year 2029, whichever comes first. So I wonder if there's something here, because with this Ten of Swords, it feels like rushing. So I wonder if there's something here where they're going to try to like, I don't know, reach some kind of milestone or push out a certain number of albums or something like that to get out of it. Or again, it's just that workhorse energy where they're just you're gonna have to perform, and you're gonna be out there. You kind of feels like you're gonna be pimped out until your contract is over with. They're gonna be burnt out, and not want to come back ever again to the music industry. Who knows? But let's see. Look. And then we have the priestess here as well. What did I do with this? Because I want to make sure, I want to say this is justice. The 14 is temperance. Okay. How did I misconstrue that? Anyways, temperance. So that is talking about balance, but this is saying something is out of balance. So again, I wonder if there's something here where it's like, y'all are just going to be, I just get they're going to be overworked. And maybe that's going to be a reason why they're going to try to sue again. Because, New Jeans, allegedly, the energy, intuitively, what I feel like it is, like maybe HYBE is about to get ready to overwork them. Or just really just try to get their money's worth, milk them for all that they can. And the girls are going to try to say, this is mistreatment. This is not constructive or conducive for our health or for our art. And is that what they're probably going to try to like push back on? Because I definitely get the feeling that HYBE is not gonna shelve them. I think, New Jeans fans, don't be concerned about that. I don't feel like they're gonna shelve them. That's not what I'm getting. I would be interested to know if I'm wrong, because this don't feel like they about to shelve them to me. This feels like they about to work them. They about to get every last morsel off them bones, okay, to recoup some of their losses, especially for like this lawsuit and stuff like that. Between this lawsuit, I can imagine there's also has been deals and performances that have suffered since this whole thing has gone on. I feel like they about to put dates to work, and I think that's where the girls is about to complain. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. That's what I think is coming up. But let me know what you all think about this reading. If you like this reading, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Okay, make sure to follow. Make sure to hit that notification bell. Leave a comment if there's something where I picked up on where you could possibly clarify, or something you think I got wrong, or something you think I got right, and explain why. So I can be, abreast of the situation as well. With all of that being said, I thank you all for watching, and yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Wishing you a great night, day, or evening wherever you are. Happy holidays if you're here in America. I know Thanksgiving is coming up. I know I am going to be celebrating that as well. I'm tired already. But I'm thankful, really. Thanksgiving is about being thankful, and I really am thankful for what's been going on in my life. So, with all that being said, hopefully you have a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. And if not, hopefully you have some things that kind of come around and help you be thankful, because I know this can be a hard season for people, with Christmas and Thanksgiving being here, they're kind of like being family oriented. People feeling isolated, etc. Hopefully you have something to look forward to and be thankful for. And yeah, because at least I'm thankful for you. And hopefully you're thankful for these videos. So yeah, wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. See you in the next one.